Have regained freedom. The sisters were abducted alongside their father early January. Their abductors had given a deadline for the payment of ransom, and failure of the family to meet their demand led to the killing of Nabiha. After killing the victim, bandits raised the ransom from 60 million naira to 100 million naira, threatening to kill the remaining sisters. The girls had regained freedom and arrived at their Abuja residence, where they were abducted. CT, in collaboration with the Nigerian Army, rescued the sisters, escorted them home, where they were received by family members. While in Abuja, 4 of the remaining siblings of Nabiha are...
All right, welcome to today's episode, and it's going to be a brief one. We just seen the highlights from TVC News, a breaking of the family that was kidnapped in Abuja, sisters and the father and the sisters that were kidnapped and getting freed after one got killed, and such a sorry incident, such, I don't know, I'm just short of words of how to explain it. But overall, when you hear all those things and see all those things, one question that comes to your mind is, what exactly is the solution and what exactly is the end? And I feel like when regular people or non-partisan people talk about these issues, the partisan people take advantage of it and want to use it for political points and all of that. The oppositions want to use it to score low the people in power. The people in power want to use it to propagate propagandas and belittle the situation or the scenario. So that's what I've kind of like deduced from the situation in Nigeria, and that's why it's so confusing. Even when you see it, you still want to ask yourself, is it true? So it's a situation of the more you see, the less you understand, or the more you look, the less you see. Because I was on the phone today and I asked a cousin of mine, I said, wait, what's really the situation in Nigeria? Is everything coming out from the media true? It's now at the point where even in Abuja, where it's supposed to be the FCT, the Federal Capital Territory, where criminals now go into people's houses and kidnap people, and what exactly could have led to this limit or could have taken over the limit of what criminals can do. And that's what I feel like Nigeria is all about right now. But if we critically look at some of all those things, and for patriotism and for reality check, we need to tell ourselves the truth. The Yorubas will say, you look at the plantain or you look at the bananas and you see it being so yellow and ripe, and you say, oh, it's getting good, but you really do not figure out that after that point it's going to get bad. And that's what the situation is right now. And I feel that the more people want to make this whole situation more partisan like in nature, the more dangerous it is for Nigeria as a nation. And these are things that we really need to critically look at. This administration has come into power now months, maybe not a year, but then we've seen the one they've spent 8 years and basically got worse. So the expectations are not high as regards to what this administration would do. And even the people in the administration on themselves are not giving even themselves high expectations of what they can do or what they will achieve. So that's the situation with Nigeria. Criminality, crimes, it's everywhere all over the world. But you see, the difference between what happens in Nigeria and across so many other places in the world is the reaction after the crime. Most times police are not able to prevent, but whichever they get hold of intelligence and were able to prevent, they prevent. In Nigeria, that's a rare thing, except maybe that has to do with the VIPO. But if it has to do with the regular people, the institution seems not to care. Then another side is, in the process of the crime, what really happens? What are the reactive measures of the law enforcement? You talk about the UK, you have toll-free numbers you can dial. Even your cell phones are somehow connected in a way where certain movements would alert security, consciousness of the people that are supposed to deal with those issues. And just as a regular citizen, when you make those calls and request those important attention in being in the crime scene, you see the reactions. Even after the crime has been committed, you see the reactions. You see the security forces, the security agents getting into action and making sure that wherever the criminal is can only run but cannot hide. So when people now go into people's houses and kidnap people and take them into forests, move them all around from one place to the other and start demanding ransom, it's like the total breakdown. It's a total breakdown of law and order, and that's what we should see it as. If crime happens in the US and all you need to do when it's happening is to dial 911, you don't even have to say anything. The first responder will be the fire service, and when they discover it's truly a crime scene, then the police are all around. And if it's really a big crime scene, you get the helicopter involved. They're making sure they following up with whoever the criminal is and making sure they get that criminal. Back then when technology wasn't so advanced as this, we understand, but now technology is so good that if it's implemented and we have the proper motivation for the security agent and the agency itself is truthful and have the proper reaction to when crimes are happening, then we will see less of that in Nigeria. In Plateau, in just Plateau states, killings happened where communities were massacred overnight or for days and there was no reaction. Kidnappings in Abuja, minimal reaction. We're always seeing the police bringing out some criminals these days, maybe because it's coming from the high tension and high intensity of what the media is pushing out, and they're trying to react to say, hey, we're still the police and we're still functioning, don't mind me. It's a little bit late where I am. And they're still saying, we're still the police and we're still functioning, and they want to show off themselves, and that's what you have right now. So, but then I feel it should be more than that. The Nigerian security system needs a reactionary one that makes criminals feel uncomfortable committing a crime. I went into a post office today, and just the label on the door alone, if you're a criminal, will tell you not to even think about it. Will tell you not to even try it, because it stated there that if you try to rob a post office person or personnel, or even come into the post office or even outside the post office, it's 25 years. And the system is not joking about that. That's the thing about the system. It's not joking. And if it happens, regardless of who you are, you're going to get, you suddenly going to get caught, and the law is suddenly going to catch up with you, and you would suffer for whatever crime you commit. But like I've said, crime is all over the world, but the reaction after those crimes are committed is what is missing in Nigeria. There's little to no reaction, and when there's no reaction, criminals are encouraged. When there's no system that reacts to the lawful and abiding citizens' distress calls, you make criminals thrive because they know that nothing or no reaction would happen. I've seen the story of the man who was kidnapped with his family in the same Abuja as well, and talked about he called his brother and requested for support, and the brother came with the police, and the brother got killed in the process. The brother got killed in the process, and the bandit and all that. In that situation, you wouldn't even have that sort of brother leading the line for the police, or even being in the events of where the police are trying to rescue you. You would have had the police coming in with more and more backups, and regardless of where the criminal would go to, is at that point, with that number of victims that they kidnapped, the police would have gone through with them, regardless of wherever it is that they are or will be going to. So these are little things I feel that Nigeria is lacking when it comes to I would say when it comes to security reactions to situations that has to do with our security as a nation, and that needs to be addressed. That really needs to be addressed. On that note, I wouldn't be staying too much for tonight, and believe me, Darkroom is back, and we'll be having more and more subsequent sections from this. And I will always be your host, Michael Lozano. I'll be here, DA, talking about situations that affects you and I in Nigeria, especially in Africa and all across the globe as well. I'll be seeing you guys next time, and hopefully, and I hope that you're all going to be safe, and the situation in Nigeria with the insecurity would also be addressed by this administration as they promised. And also I hope the people would learn, and I don't know, I just hope everything is just gonna be fine. See you guys next time again, and I remain my humble self. Don't forget to subscribe, and if you subscribe, kindly help share, and we need to get this program to reach as much as possible persons, so that we can get to create a community on this program and get to talk about these things, and push out solutions as much as possible, and make sure that when we push out the solutions, hopefully it gets to the adding years and adding minds that would listen, and possibly we start having solutions in our society and avoid all these unnecessary deaths, unnecessary evils happening all around, all in the name of money or invasion or land grabbing or whatever it is that is happening. It's really not worth the human life that we're losing. I'll see you guys next time, and later. Bye.